Ministerial Statement, Minister for Works.
I move a motion to do a ministerial statement. Mr. Speaker, Connect PNG program financing and implementation. Connecting the unconnected, reaching the unreached, and saving the unsafe. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of our rural population, who are for the first time seeing and experiencing roads connecting them under the Connect PNG program, including my remote people of Teleforming. Thank you for giving this opportunity to me to provide an update on the progress and the financing and implementation of the Marabe-Rosso government's flagship road infrastructure development program. Mr. Assistant Speaker, before I do so, let me firstly acknowledge the Prime Minister, Honorable James Marabe, and the members of Parliament for the ongoing support for this vital nation-wide program to fully connect PNG with roads. Mr. Speaker, Assistant Speaker, there is a strong relationship between the country's economic development and road connectivity and the quality of roads, as roads play a very vital role in the economic and social development. As at 2014, Mr. Assistant Speaker, we had more than 70% of the country's roads in poor or fail condition due to continuous underfunding situation that resulted in 40 billion maintenance bill to the asset owner, the state. Mr. Speaker, this situation added to the ever-increasing transportation and logistics cost and the overall cost of doing business and delivery of public goods and services. Mr. Assistant Speaker, the deteriorated state of the existing roads and the development of road connectivity and accessibility is already a huge bottleneck in the progress of our government's goal. Diversifying and growing the economy to achieve a 200 billion GDP in 10 years' time. Mr. Assistant Speaker, considering the short-term and long-term impacts of the declining conditions of the existing roads and limited road connectivity on the economy, the Marabe-Rosso government developed the Connect PNG Economic Road Infrastructure Development Program 2020 to 2040, 20 years program. Connect PNG aims to both improve the existing roads in poor conditions and also develop new missing links. Mr. Speaker, Assistant Speaker, all totaling to 16,000 kilometers. This will open up the country and meet growing demand for road connectivity and increasing sustainable road accessibility for development. Mr. Assistant Speaker, our government is taking a long-term view in developing economic lifeline highways and major link roads that respond to future growth and demands of local and national economy. Mr. Assistant Speaker, the Connect PNG is a 20 billion worth of long-term program to build economic lifeline. Highways that respond to future growth and demands of local and national economic development aspirations. Mr. Assistant Speaker, our government is not only announcing a major investment program, as is the case in the past, but importantly, as approve important backup legislative and institutional reforms to address historic problems of underfunding issues and weak delivery systems affecting implementations of development policies in the past. Mr. Assistant Speaker, as a result of the legislative reforms, the implementation of our government's Connect PNG program is now underpinned by the Connect PNG Implementation and Funding Arrangements Act 2021, which gives stable long-term funding commitment of 5.6% of the annual budget is allocated to Connect PNG over the 20 years life of this program. Mr. Assistant Speaker, using the forward projections for the budget expenditure, this commitment would amount to over 1.3 billion on average per year and will give a total sum of 7.89 billion investment for the 2022 to 2027 medium-term program period. Mr. Assistant Speaker, within the legislated 5.6% annual budget funding commitment, the national government is committed to implement 4 main priority programs, and below are the status of the programs. Mr. Assistant Speaker, in line with our government commitment to boost the capacity, efficiency, and productivity of the main economic highways, an allocation of 3.5 billion investment at 700,000 million per annum from 2020 to 2027 to upgrade and improve 4,200 kilometers of national highways, comprising Hiritano Highway, Magi Highway, Highlands Highway, Ramu Medeng Highway, Waubulolo Highway, Civic Coastal Highway, Kokoda Highway, Bruminski Highway, Enga Highway, and Manus Highway, and not forgetting Civic Inland Highway. To international standard and 2-lane highways. Mr. Assistant Speaker, up to 2022, a total of 2,700 kilometers, that is more than 50% of the highway sections, had been upgraded and improved. These include improvement of 85% of the 430 kilometers of the Highlands Highway, sections from Najab to Kakamuka, under the ADB co-funded Highlands Highway Investment Program, 95% of the 135 kilometers of Hilitano Highway, 70% of 115 kilometers of Bougainville Roads, 100% improvement to Bruminski Highway, and as well as major improvements on other main highways around the country. Mr. Assistant Speaker, the improved conditions of the national highways are already contributing to travel time savings and massive reductions in vehicle operating costs for the trucking companies and PMV operators. We will continue and complete upgrading and improving the balance of 1,500 kilometers in 2023 to 2027 period. Mr. Assistant Speaker, this government will invest 200 million annually, commencing 2023 budget, and will reach 1 billion in 2027 to construct additional 1,800 kilometers to connect 1 million people yet to be connected by road and provide access to unlock economic potential. The priority is to complete and open up the missing links sections between Aseki and Ebo on the Trans Island Highway by 2025 to meet the government short-term goal to open up this highway with 50th independence anniversary of our country. For this, we have completed 60% of the 141 kilometers, and we expect to complete 100% by 2025 to coincide with 50 years independence anniversary. And this government is confident to do that. All in all, Mr. Assistant Speaker, we have recorded some major achievements on the constructions of the new missing link roads, including Maramuni Missing Link Road 100% open. Now you can drive from Wabek to Maramuni. We have Erave Sembriki 100% connecting the southern to the northern region. Baya to Mereng 40%, and it will come on tender soon to fully construction and open that missing link. Aitape to Vanemo, 100% open to traffic. We're working on that. Fiska lay 80% open. We'll fully open the missing link by 2025. Central to Milin Bay, 50% open. Tabubil to Telefomin, 80% open. By December 25th, the Prime Minister will be in Telefomin to officially deliver the road to Telefomin people. Missing link will be open fully. The other missing link is the Karamui, Agumani to Karamui Gulf, 40%, and we are working on. It's been declared as special economic zone. We are aligning everything. So we will work with a new member. Also, the other missing link is the Pomio. Pomio to Canarian Processor and all the way to Kimbe. That is not on the list, but I am now announcing. And there are some more missing links. We will continue to complete the remaining kilometers on the current projects and comments on other priority roads, as I have stated. Mr. Assistant Speaker, Connect PNG is implemented on the commitment of this government to see all roads improve must lead to socio-economic growth. Accordingly, our rural communities will continue to benefit from 1.5 billion investment to upgrade and improve 9,000 kilometers of subnational roads in partnership with local authorities. This component will also include major arterial roads for the regional cities of Mount Hagen, Port Moresby, Kokopo, and Lae, and other major towns to urban road standard in partnership with the municipal authorities to provide opportunities to grow the local economies and encourage investments with improved access to markets, service hubs, and industrial centers. Mr. Assistant Speaker, up to 2022, more than 1,066 kilometers of roads had been improved to good condition. That is over 35% achievement. Mr. Speaker, we are on track to bring to good condition 3,000 kilometers of this sub-program by 2027. Mr. Assistant Speaker, 450 million worth of contracts are in progress on the main city roads, including 380 million for Lae Najab 4-lane section 2A and 2B, 50 million for Mount Hagen City for lane road safety improvements works, 70 million for Leh City concrete standard roads. So 70 million is going down to city roads in Leh. No more potholes city. It's thing of the past. This government is committed to deliver Leh City with concrete. 20 million for Hagen City roads, 10 million for Kokopo Airport Road. Also, we have a 4-lane tender out, and it's going to be given to a contractor to deliver a 4-lane road from Tokua to Kokopo City. Kokopo is a fourth city in the country. Mr. Assistant Speaker, under sub-program 4, to upgrade and replace 1,000 meters of overdue bridge structures on the main highways, this government is committing a total cost of 1 billion at 200 million per annum between 2023 and 2027 to improve all the bridges from 1 lane to 2 lane. To date, we have completed 165 bridges. Bridges length in meters to be confirmed. Out of 2,000 meters target on national highways, we achieved 591 meters with 71 major bridges on the Highlands Highway at design stage. We have supplied and constructed 2,000 meters of bridges for rural roads, which already increasing the rural access for the rural population by 20% from what used to be in impossible conditions. Mr. Assistant Speaker, my department strives to ensure investment decisions are continued to be made on the basis of proper cost-benefit analysis with appropriate designs to ensure fit for purpose engineering standards. Environmental standards, safety standards, and world best practice are adequately accommodated and reflected in the final results and the outcomes. Mr. Assistant Speaker, some of these reforms in the design standards and road building technologies are best practice we adopted are already giving improved results, and they include: number 1, pavement recycling and stabilizing technology. 300 kilometers of roads on the main highways had been rehabilitated and stabilized, including sections of Enga Highway, Highlands Highway, Ramu Mereng Highway, and Leh Najaf 4-lane sections of the Highlands Highway. This technology stabilizes and gives longer service life and save on maintenance cost. Number 2, concrete pavement technology. 70 kilometers of Leh City roads have been done using the rigid pavement standard, changing the pothole city name into cement city in the last 5 years of continuous effort and work. The concrete pavement gives longer service life at low maintenance cost as they are climate resilient. Number 3, shift from project loans to program loans. Program loans. Shifting from project-based loans to program loans to ensure work continuity on major highway sections. For example, the 430 kilometer sections of the Highlands Highway is now being improved under 10-year ADB program financing. Number 4, design and build construction contract model. Design and feasibility studies are compulsory requirements of the project delivery process to ensure large investment on large highway sections are done with confirmation of technical feasibility and economic viability that delivers high returns on investment. Mr. Assistant Speaker, number 5, independent project management. All big projects are now managed by independent project managers who act impartially with high work ethics and practices to ensure projects are delivered to the standard specified in the contracts and or high quality. Number 6, Assistant Speaker, long-term maintenance policy In order to prolong the life of the roads built at high capital cost, we are introducing long-term maintenance programs on the newly improved highway sections. Mr. Assistant Speaker, at the end of the day, we want to grow our GDP through increased economic activities as roads connect investors and developers to natural resources. Mr. Assistant Speaker, major investments in key roads are already generating the expected returns and benefits. For example, along the corridor of the newly built Lane Najab 4-lane section is booming with developments along the four-lane highway corridor. That is one of the examples you can see. Some of the critical impacts and benefits that have been generated out of these improvements in roads and bridges include: 1. 10,000 rural and technical jobs for PNG on construction sites all around PNG, boosting rural income for PNG families, creating 10,000 jobs. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, Assistant Speaker, creating 20 new small to medium local contractors in direct and subcontract arrangement at a total contract value of 1.2 billion. Mr. Assistant Speaker, number 3, 600 million worth of royalty and land compensation payments on project sites, boosting local economies and increasing household income for rural families. Mr. Assistant Speaker, number 4, 3 hours of travel time saving on the main national highways in proposing to the 50% road condition improvement. Number 5, Mr. Assistant Speaker, 300 million savings in vehicle operating costs from wear and tear on the main highways from improved road conditions. Mr. Assistant Speaker, in responding to one of the long-standing public concerns and interest on the abuse of road maintenance funding, critical achievements have been recorded. Since 2013, Department of Works and Highways has referred all claims to court instead of the usual out-of-the-court settlement practices. With the support of the state solicitor, the courts have dismissed false claims and subsequently saved almost 700 million in total amount. We will continue to defend any false claims, and I will inform everyone out there, contractors, claimants, and government officials, there is no room for false claim anymore under the Connect PNG laws that protects abusers and insulates against abuses and misuse of road-related funds. Mr. Assistant Speaker, the program activities cover the entire country and the benefit as well, both direct and indirect. Both immediate and long-term benefits are expected to spread widely. This is the true meaning of leaving no one behind. In every development efforts of this government. Mr. Assistant Speaker, we have various funding streams, including Government of PNG, concessional loans, grants, tax credit scheme funds, and commercial loans. These various funding streams have their own governance and accountability arrangements. Mr. Assistant Speaker, on the same note, I am happy to say that the 5.6% allocation, 1.6 billion in 2023, will be managed through a dedicated trust with high-level oversight by the NEC-approved All of Government Connect PNG Program Steering Committee chaired by the Secretary for National Planning and Monitoring. Mr. Speaker, the Connect PNG program is not just mere talk. Since its inception in 2020, more than 230 projects have been procured and implemented under the various programs which I highlighted already. Out of the planned 5 billion budget, we have procured 3.6 billion worth of projects, including a 6 million in arrears payments for legacy contracts inherited from the previous and past governments. Mr. Assistant Speaker, on the back of our achievements so far, we will be implementing a massive 5.6 billion worth of road maintenance and capital works contracts, representing the biggest road works ever to be undertaken in the history of our country in the next 5 years, from 2023 to 2027. Mr. Assistant Speaker, it is very important to highlight that the Connect PNG program is aimed to cover all 4 regions, all provinces, all districts, and all communities, as its benefits will be spread widely, both now and into the future, right down to the rural districts. Our future. Mr. Speaker, at this juncture, let me acknowledge our government partners who are contributing more than 50% of the capital investment in the Connect PNG program, with loans and grants funding. They include the Asian Development Bank, or ADB, World Bank, Australian Aid, Japanese Aid through JICA, Chinese Exim Bank, Australian Infrastructure Financing Facility Loan, Oil and Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, and Indian Exim Bank. I also acknowledge the private companies that fund projects through the tax credit scheme that include Octedi, ExxonMobil, and New Britain Oil Palm, and other tax credits that not mentioned. Mr. Assistant Speaker, subnational road authorities are supported by increased funding through the Department of National Planning and Monitoring and technical support from the Department of Works and the Highways. The centralizing of technical functions and powers requires proper capacity and resources to subnational authorities is taking place progressively to effectively implement road management and maintenance responsibilities. Mr. Acting Assistant Speaker, these transfers across all provinces and districts is important to deliver local road projects effectively and boost local employment and economic activities. Mr. Assistant Speaker, just in 3 years, Connect PNG is progressing very well with massive achievements on the main highways, rural roads, bridges, and opening up key missing links to touch the untouched with socio-economic impacts that will add value to major investment costs we are doing. Mr. Assistant Speaker, we are very confident that with the current level of political and funding commitment with strong project management and monitoring efforts, Connect PNG will deliver the results in timely manner to transform PNG from a low-income country to an upper-middle-income country. Mr. Assistant Speaker, it cannot be a business as usual. Minimum funding commitments made under the law must be made available always to make sure we do not turn back but continue to move forward to achieve 100% road connectivity by 2040. And PNG shall never be the same again. I leave 2 quotes to ask the members of floor or members of parliament. Number 1, it is not our wealth that built our roads, but it is our roads that built our wealth. Number 2, it's not us, then who? If it's not now, then when? Yes, together we can do it now for